you want to attend Oktoberfest in Munich. I totally get that. I've done it. It's a must-do for any traveler, especially if you're going to Germany. I mean, my favorite thing about Germany is just all the fest. They find any reason to celebrate, and I absolutely adore that about Germany. So to break it down, the Wiesn is Munich's Oktoberfest. It's rooted in Bavarian culture, and the Wasen is Stuttgart's Cannstatter Volksfest, and that's rooted in Swabian culture. Of course, the Wiesn is the most famous, but the Wasen is so superior to Oktoberfest in almost every way. And really, everyone I've asked that has been to both, they all say that they liked Stuttgart's better. When somebody thinks about Volksfest, they immediately think of Munich. I know I did. The Wiesn is the largest Volksfest in the world, with about 7.2 million visitors every single year, while Stuttgart's Wasen sees about 4.3 million visitors. This means that Stuttgart has significantly less crowds. Now, that doesn't mean it's not packed, because it is, but still, many tourists still don't know about Stuttgart's Cannstatter Volksfest, and there are just so many other fests that tourists don't really think about. The tents in Munich are packed. So they have the tents set up with the long tables inside and benches, and they are pushed up so close together that there's very little room to move around. There are some standing room only areas, and that's even worse. Celebrities who attend the tents in Oktoberfest, they know this, so they are separated from everybody else just because it's so crowded. But if you're attending the fest in Stuttgart, the celebrities are more intermingled just because there's just more space. So that does say a lot. The tents in Stuttgart are also very crowded, but you have a lot more space to move around. I remember I was able to get up and down off the benches and go to the bathroom, and it just wasn't an issue. As someone who doesn't really feel super comfortable in large crowds, I felt slightly more at ease at the one in Stuttgart than I did in Oktoberfest. Another thing to consider is the cost. So the beer costs a bit more in Munich, with prices about 13 euros to 15 euros per liter. And you can expect prices to be about €1 less in Stuttgart. You can really feel a sense of community when you're walking around the tents in Stuttgart singing and dancing. When you're walking around the grounds, you're gonna see couples, friends, families. They're all enjoying snacks, rides, and games. And most of them wear the traditional regional clothing as well. From my experience in Munich, the crowd that it attracted was definitely a little bit more belligerent than Stuttgart. There was just more drunkenness overall, which led to a slew of a whole other issues. Walking the grounds in Munich is definitely a lot of fun though, because you're people watching and there's just more craziness to witness, really. But I definitely wouldn't call it a wholesome sense of community. I mean, even in Stuttgart, it does get crazy, but it's just not as many drunk internationals. And I think that kind of lends itself to cleanliness as well. Another reason I like the Stuttgart Fest more was just the overall location. Both Stuttgart and Munich are at the top of Germany's most expensive cities, with Munich being number 1 and Stuttgart being number 4. I personally prefer Stuttgart over Munich overall. Stuttgart is a very modern city with traditional charm, and it's really nice because it's tucked into some mountains and there's a lot of green rolling hills. It's just beautiful all around. So many fest attendees visit the Mercedes-Benz Museum before going to the grounds. And there's also a Porsche museum. So the downtown area of Stuttgart is so beautiful, and there's always something going on and something for everyone. The trains leading you to the fest grounds in Stuttgart were phenomenal. We were quite intoxicated during our first time at the Cannstatter Volksfest, and we had never been to the grounds before. But the fest attendees usher you to the train station. When your session at the tent ends, you can follow the crowd because most are headed to the train station. So just picture that, a large intoxicated group of festers being herded like cows onto trains. That's exactly what happens. Cleanliness. Germans are known for their cleanliness and respectfulness, two things I absolutely adore. There was a chaotic, anything goes kind of vibe at the Wiesn. I saw much more trash piling up and festers passing out on the ground. You can watch my other YouTube video and watch that for yourself. And with more people, that just means more vomit, more nastiness all around. But if your main goal is to drink, you will enjoy either fest, or any fest really. But if you want a more wholesome and traditional experience, I highly recommend checking out the Cannstatter Volksfest in Stuttgart. Or, check them both out and see for yourself. Have you been to either of these fests? Have you been to both? If so, I'd love to hear your feedback. Do you prefer one over the other? Thanks for listening, and I will talk to you next time.